Welcome to the Value Meta. We are building decks you can build with a starter account on Arena, and we are starting our road through Devotion. So we are starting with Mono Black Devotion, and this is the deck here. It is a 0 Mythic 12 rare wildcard deck. It is a simple deck. You want to put out a bunch of creatures that have black pips, use that to ramp with a Shrine to Nykthos, and then destroy them with a Devotion payoff. So let's go for a breakdown in rarity, and to change things up we'll start with our lands, because we're running 23 lands in total, 21 basic swamps and 3 copies of Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. Now you could have 4 if you want. If you have 4, I put 3 in because this isn't like the green storm deck where we want to make trillions of mana. We just need a burst to get through stuff, but that's our mana base, nice and simple. Our rares are full playset of Phyrexian Arena. This is an additional card draw on every upkeep, and 2 additional black pips in our Devotion. We then have 2 copies of Arya, First of Locthwain. She is a triple black creature that can also incidentally gain us life and add 3 Devotion. And then we have 3 copies of Insatiable Avarice. This is basically our tutor card. We had some leftover rares, so I decided to put these in. These aren't essential, but they added some smooth out consistency and testing where we could find missing stuff if we needed to for free mana. So rares covered. Let's go into the big part of our deck, which is our uncommons. So left to right, we'll start with Vampire of the Dire Moon. It's a 1/1 Death Touch lifelinker for 1. That's a good roadblock, and incidental life gain is always welcome. Then we have its big brother, the Gifted Aetherborn, which is again a Death Touch lifelinker, 2 free stats, that has double black pips for our Devotion. Finally, we have Yarok's Fenlurker. This is a 2-drop that has, as I said, 2 Devotion and forces an opponent to exile a card from their hand. Now, it's not as relevant, but again, it's a high Devotion creature that has a good ETB that we can use, and it also has a mana sink that late game, if we're struggling, we can sink all our mana into him to make him into a bigger creature to try and get through. Our next creature is the Vampire Nighthawk, an old school card indeed. 3 mana, 1 and double black for a flying Death Touch lifelink, 2 free. A good roadblock, a good blocker, and 2 Devotion, which all adds up incidentally to our payoff, which is the Grey Merchant of Asphodel. 3 double black. When this creature enters, each opponent loses life equal to your Devotion, and you gain that much life. So on an empty board, he will always just gain 2. But in this deck, we want to get Devotion up to like 9 or 10, and then dump him on and drain an opponent for 12. That's the plan. And finally, we'll move into our commons, which is nice and easy because we just simply have Dusk Legion Zealot as a nice little 1/1 that can draw us a card, and a full playset of Feed the Swarm. Feed the Swarm is in here, as I said before. It is common removal that is also slightly versatile in hitting enchantments. We are currently in a meta where you probably want to answer talents or other things like that, so it's worth hitting in a best of 1 matchup. But that is the deck. Let's see how it goes, and let's see if our Devotion to black is strong enough to win. Straight in, and we're cutting a little bit off the front here because of bad timing with my capture software. Our opponent's also in a black deck, so let's curve out with a turn 1 Vampire of the Dire Moon. Immediately it's a cut down. Now, I'm going to say this as a advice to anyone new playing Arena. Ooh, a toxic deck. Alright, let's get a Dusk Legion Zealot down as a blocker and draw a card. We're still on 3 mana, but our opponent has mulligan, so we're in a good stand. Now, you shouldn't always just remove everything, because they're using their Go for the Throats here, and we have some bigger things here. Right, with the fact that we're still on Toxic, I'm going to drop a Phyrexian Arena, because card advantage is going to be key against a deck like this. Oh, they attack in, and then Swerval Swerves. This isn't Toxic, this is Ninjas. So Moon City Hacker comes in, and they draw a card, dropping an Ornithopter. I respect ninjas, it's a fun deck. Tried to make it work for a long time in Modern back in the day. Alright, Phyrexian Arena is going to draw us 2 cards. There's a land, which is good. So, I think our best bet here is Yarok's Fenlurker. Let's get rid of a card from their hand. It is possible they have like a counterspell to make us pay additional mana, like a leak kind of effect. So holding up a little extra mana is going to be good for us. Alright, then it goes to Fenlurker. Right. Straight to combat. Ornithopter coming in on the top. Ninjaing in. The Silver Fur Master. So all their ninjas are going to get +1/+1. Redeploys the Ornithopter. Very nice. We'll draw 2 off this Phyrexian Arena. Okay, so we have 5 mana total here. I'm not going to run out a mini Grey Merchant here. I think it's better if we Fenlurker, get rid of their last card. Oh, turns out the last card must be removal. Yep, Shieldred's Edict. Yep, we'll sack one of the creatures. Play a Vampire Nighthawk, a great blocker here against their board. They play a Gix. Okay, so we've got to make sure that doesn't get through. I am going to trade here because I don't want them drawing additional cards off the Gix. Oh, that's good. Right. Let's get up to 6 mana total. And I think our best bet is probably a Vampire Nighthawk, definitely as a blocker. And a second Phyrexian Arena. Our devotion is up to 8 now, so if they don't attack in, we could do big damage. Ooh, a ninja forcing us to discard will discard one of the Avarice. So Gix has to deal damage here, so they are coming in. Is it worth the double block here? Now, if they swing in with both, I will take Gix out. We just want to keep free of card advantage here. Oh, yeah, so we will trade with Vampire Nighthawk. Gix is something that could bring them back in pretty good if they keep drawing cards. So let's draw double off the arena. Alright, so 6 mana, 9 mana total, so let's drop the Grey Merchant, drain him for 8. Let's play the Insatiable Avarice here. And I think the best bet is to just tutor. So let's put our 3rd copy of Grey Merchant on top of the deck here. So now, we'll see what they draw. But we're in pretty good standing. They don't attack in, we'll draw additional cards. Alright, we have enough mana here to literally go Grey Merchant into Grey Merchant. So, filter through the Nykthos, drop the Grey Merchant, play the next Grey Merchant, drain them out. Good first game, let's move on. Game 2 with Black Devotion, let's see how it goes. Another solid curve, we do need another land here, but we have multiple draw attempts to get it. So let's go again, Vampire of the Dire Moon. The nice thing about this deck as well is we can kind of fake being a vampire deck, because if you look at how many incidental creatures we have that are vampires, we're not drawing our 3rd land, which is pretty rough. But our opponent, let's see what they're doing. Because we can come off as basically a vampire tribal deck. Okay. Alright, Gifted Aetherborn, swing in, see what our opponent goes for. There's a Glissa the Sunchaser, so that would destroy our Phyrexian Arena here, so let's destroy her with that. And we're still playing like a tribal deck. There's no reason we should just bank damage, we should just keep going in if we can. Second Glissa. Finally hit our 3rd land, but we're going to take out another Glissa here. And swing in, put us back to 21. Lifelink is very nice. Okay, there's a Vampire Scavenger. Alright, filter 4 mana through here. Phyrexian Arena and another Zealot here. Draw a card. I think our best bet is to swing in with the one Vampire of the Dire Moon. See if they want to trade. They do. So they gain 2 life there, but we also took out their lifelink blocker. There's a Basilisk for blocking purposes. They don't have mana. Okay, so we can go Fenlurker here. Yeah, we've got this. So Fenlurker can go in. Exile a card from their hand. This will then give us enough to Grey Merchant for 10, and then we swing in This creature doesn't have lifelink, so one of their effects will go through here. Alright, filter the mana, play Grey Merchant, drain him to 1, full swing out, a lethal damage. Good game, good devotion. Game 3 here. Mono Black Devotion doing pretty well so far. Alright, again, a great curve. 1, 2, 3, and a payoff with the Grey Merchant, so we can keep that going. Opponent's on a mulligan, which is always good to see. Alright, let's go. Turn 1 Vampire. Opponent drops a Hall of the Storm Giant, so let's play a Fen Lurker. They opt in response, so it's either Prowess, Phoenix, or Lessons. So let's see what they exile from their hand. They exile the Treasure Cruise, so it's leaning towards this being a, is it Phoenix deck? Definitely. Charter Course, yes, old school Phoenix. Yep, there's a Phoenix in the graveyard. So let's get the Phyrexian Arena onto the battlefield and a swing in. Put him down to 17. Opponent plays their 3rd land and passes. So they must have a rough draw here. They clearly have something because they're waiting for stuff. Okay, there's an Is It Charm taking out the Vampire. And we'll draw. Well, might as well get down a 2nd Phyrexian Arena. More card advantage. Yeah, we're out card advantaging the mono blue, well, the Is It cantrip deck. There's another Phoenix in the graveyard, so they're doing pretty well with that regard. Let's draw additional cards here. Land would have been nice there, game. So let's play Arya, first of Lockfrain. She will drain for a life and will gain a life. Looks like she's eating a lightning axe. Yep, there it is. But they are down to 2 cards, and we are drawing more than them a turn. They are on 14 from our incidental damage. Sleight of hand. I feel like they should have gone for the Phoenix Reanimation here. Unless they literally don't have another cantrip, but the odds of them finding it through a sleight in hand and opt would have been way more consistent than just this. Right, we finally hit lands. Hey, there's a Shrine to Nyx, so we can now do some big mana. Fortunately, we're going to have to filter 6 in, which will give us 7 total. So I think our best bet is Gifted Aetherborn into Grey Merchant, puts him down to 4, and pass it back. So we're on 28 life here. There's a Fiery Impulse, takes out the Gifted Aetherborn. Consider. Do they really? Okay. Oh, the wrong side, dude. You should have. They pick up Prankster instead of doing it. It must be new to the deck. Clearly that was meant to be the 3rd spell to just go off. So I'm going to replay the Gifted Aetherborn here. Get our full mana. I'm going for a massive drain of 14 of a Grey Merchant. Taking the opponent out. Misplay there on their part, but good showing for Devotion.